Software is a difficult, winding path that turns a vision into an implementation. It's often compared to building a train and its tracks while rushing forward at the speed of sound. I've found this to be true in the case of most startups and open source software projects. It's certainly the case at Ultra as we persevere towards our goal of building the future of gaming. I think that we should talk about how building a suite of products is not the same as building one product. Because that's what Ultra really is, a suite of tools and interfaces that enables people to do things that have never been possible before. A big part of that suite is, of course, the Uniq Marketplace that we put so much effort into over the past 2 milestones. So, let's talk about that.
For the NFT Marketplace, I think the very important aspect is that exchanging assets is really at the center of Ultra. But I think not only of Ultra, of literally anything. When you think about it, it's integral part of games. Like you receive assets when you play games, so virtual items. Even your progression can be an asset. If you talk about like eBay, what do they sell? Assets. Steam, what do they sell? Assets. It's games. Facebook Marketplace, what do they sell? Assets. TikTok, if you watch a video, what it is a video asset, right? So at the end of the day, even your digital identity is composed of different assets. Like, okay, you earn this, you earn that, and it's build your persona. So having a marketplace at the core of Ultra is critical because that's at the center of the exchange between all type of applications, services, interaction of users. So I think that's maybe one reason why we decided to prioritize the marketplace over different services or apps, because basically it benefits everything.
And I think like one thing with why we spend so much time with the NFT marketplace is, again, it ties into the NFT standard. We're realizing better ways to do certain things. We see, okay, developers are spending a lot of time on this one part. Like, is there something we can do to improve that? And then, oh yeah, there's a better method. And then we that's kind of like what sets us apart in the blockchain space, is that we're consuming our own technology. And this is a very, very different thing than say, okay, I'm Ethereum Foundation, I make a protocol, and then, you guys figure it out. And then everybody's kind of like finding creative ways to solve some of the limitation of it. The thing is, we make the protocol and then we make the app, and then we're like, wait a minute, we actually want to make some protocol updates because it's going to be much better for everybody. And so there's back and forth going there. So while, if we were to remove the protocol development and the NFT development, and we would only think about making the NFT marketplace, people will be able to do what we do on the NFT marketplace like super, super fast, like literally in a month's time. But that's because we will have done all the work on the NFT standard, and we will have done all the work on the protocol side, and then kind of like packaged everything in a way that would make everybody able to make a NFT marketplace in no time. And that's kind of like part of like the philosophy of Ultra is really to improve through our own product, and it just so happens that we have a lot of products, so there's a lot of improvements happen.
I don't think that people understand how consequential what you just said actually is, because building a full marketplace from like a game developer's perspective is such a headache. Like, it's something that they don't want to have to deal with. And the fact that we provide that as a tool that they can simply plug in to their code base and then have access not just to like the functionality of a marketplace, but to the liquidity of the marketplace, like our whole ecosystem, that is absolutely groundbreaking.
Yeah. And I think that's a good example. And there are many, structural decision that we made or that we changed, not just for the ease of integration or for certain reasons, but also for what is the best solution. Like, if, for example, with the NFT marketplace, like, what is the best? Well, if everybody shares the whole liquidity, and or contributes to the whole liquidity, that's clearly the best solution. And there's a lot of decisions that were made around that, including on how do you manage the cost of creating NFTs. There are many ways you can do it, and we want the best way. We want people to be able to have a business model, make calculation, and see, okay, well, this is going to be profitable, and not have to worry about, oh, wait a minute, because there's a chance that the US price increases and basically blows up my whole business model. So to do that, the amount of work for solving that problem, it's ridiculous. But at the end, this puts us very, very on a very different place than what exists out there, because suddenly you provide a solution that is predictable, whereas any other blockchain solution right now in terms of operation cost are very, very unpredictable. And so these are a lot of, and we're really innovating, and it's a lot of work. And as soon as you start having this component where you want fixed pricing for basically blockchain infrastructure, you incur a lot of potential modification on the protocol, on the standard, on maybe oracles and whatnot. And so it's I think it's important that people understand that we're not doing what other people are doing. And we're really trying to innovate, and the innovation has a cost. And the cost is delays.
So how did building the Uniq Marketplace affect our overall timelines? Because like what we're talking about there is the balance between releasing Ultra games and then the balance of all the extra functionality that we think that we need to be able to make Ultra games really valuable.
Basically, when you develop a product or multiple product, you always need to allocate resources to your focus, and this impacts the development of other things. So the thing is, like, for us, having the NFT standard solidified, having a working NFT marketplace is valuable because it unlocks a lot of business opportunities and different use cases in itself. And so we focused a lot on the NFT marketplace, and now we're going to shift our focus on, again, back to Ultra Game, the distribution platform. And so that's kind of like what's going to happen. We're not far away for releasing Ultra games, but we did have to focus on the NFT platform more lately. So that's why there's a sequence, like first NFT marketplace, NFT standard, and then the next step we complete and release Ultra games.
Yeah, so indeed, the fact we had to deal with NFT marketplace allowed us to optimize and improve the NFT standard, because we saw a lot of features that were needed, and which means that now we can finalize the Ultra games as well. So first we release Ultra games, normal, and then after, during the time, so it's available to the public, we finalized the conversion of the license to the NFT. So everybody who has a game, we can send them an NFT. That's it. Now that's their new license. Because the DRM, for example, was one big piece that we worked on extensively, because it's a very complicated type of technology. And it's working. And now we will simply quote unquote, need to bridge it or merge it with the NFT standard, which is at the end of the day an NFT license, which triggers the digital right management solution, so allowing you to launch the game on it. And so once you give that license to that NFT to somebody else, you cannot launch it anymore, but that person can now launch it. So it seems simple, but it needs a lot of background work before being able to reach this stage. And now we are reaching this stage, so which means we can finalize the last bit. We will already, as I mentioned, get other games out there. People can already use it, and then add the functionality so people can enjoy the resetting.
I think the last thing that I wanted to cover today, and I know that we only have a couple of minutes left, was how you view the competitor landscape, because like there's a lot of stuff out there which is coming out, and I think has a lot of interesting functionality, is kind of sort of in the same space as Ultra, and I'd love to hear your view on that.
I think usually when we see a potential competitor, or just the space in general, is still very fragmented. So somebody does something specific, something else, so all specific, and they are sort of competing with different products of Ultra. But it's hard to find one that actually compete with everything. So doing the blockchain, doing the NFT Standard, doing the whole app ecosystem, doing the Ultra games, the Uniq Marketplace, and all that. So how we see it is that if you want to get to a new paradigm shift, you need to have a new, I would say, experience. Now, if you provide the same experience as before, you don't achieve that. And what we want to go towards is that paradigm shift. Hence, the fact that we need all those elements. So when we see competition, we always, I would say, look closely, see, okay, what are they doing? Maybe something interesting that we didn't thought of. But oftentimes there is not much more than what we are building in that specific area. Sometimes you'll go a bit further, sometimes you'll be a bit, I would say, less far. But at the end of the day, to have the whole cohesive solution, they won't achieve it from my perspective. Because you end up with a product that is hard to use, or the games are out there, but not amazing either. So I think, yeah, competition is there for sure. Now that we are not doing the same thing either, and I don't think we can achieve the same either. Maybe they're gonna be amazing in their specific area, but won't be competing in the same way.
Yeah, so I think when we look at the competition, we really see like more of the same, because they all rely on the same technology basically. So it's like, it's the same, it's wrapped in another UI, it's like, so they all have the same fundamental issues, because at the core, it's really the same tech, the same standard, or the same EVM related issues and so on. So it's really, everybody has their own flavor, and they're really competing with each other's. But what we build it's really different, and we can see what happens when somebody understands how our tech works, and then they're like, well, we want to work with with that. It's so much better for us. And so I think it's going to be really interesting when there will be one first product that will be successful on Ultra. Because at that point, a lot of people right now don't even know about Ultra. Like, they never heard of it. Some people heard of it, but don't really understand it, or like followed us, know what we're really doing. But as soon as you have this one product which is successful, it could be a single NFT collection that is successful. You will have a lot of eyes on Ultra, and then people are gonna realize, wait a minute, did I just buy an NFT and it was so easy, or did I just create an NFT in such a convenient way? And then there's we're gonna start realizing how better the overall tech is. And so this one hero project or hero application is gonna put us on another league than what's out there. And there's still gonna be competition in the different areas, like here and there, and but really in terms of like the entire user experience, where you hop from the game distribution, the NFT marketplace, and then the live stream, the tournament, the whole thing. We're really absolutely by ourselves, and that's going to put us on a very, very different space than what exists out there. So yeah, I'm pretty confident, and it's interesting to see competition because, like Nicolas mentioned, we do have a look at them, and because it's a very nascent industry, there's still a lot of innovation happening, and we need to keep up to date with what happens, and that's what we do, and we will keep improving Ultra services also based on what new standards are being done.
Really appreciate your time today, guys.
Thank you, everybody. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Remy. Bye bye.